I applied to FedEx to be a package handler. I drove home to visit my family and stuff and hang out for a little bit, end of the season, just relaxing. All of a sudden, like a week later of being home, chilling with my family, me and my mom are watching Netflix. I get a call from farm director Tom Flanagan saying that I needed to be in the big leagues the next day.
Oh my God. Party in the USA would be cool, Wrecking Ball. That would be awesome. That would be, maybe take our advice on that one. And then we can play the clip.
I am open-minded.
I would get emotional.
I don't know if I'll go Miley, dude.
Oh, okay.
Don't lie to me. You won't get emotional.
I would. If I was having like a rough day and then I heard Wrecking Ball at the stadium when we were at, I would probably just like, I would, one of a slow.
I would crush so many brats, but yeah, dogs over brats.
Yeah, brats are tougher to crush, I feel like. They're girthier, right?
They're big. They're girthy.
I think that's the first time the word girth has been mentioned on Meet at the Apple.
Hey Mets fans, it's another episode of Meet at the Apple. I'm Vito Calisi. That's Jonathan Barron, and the Mets just keep winning.
You know, I was thinking about this. Maybe we should have named our podcast "The Mets Are Back" or just "Mets Are Back," because I feel like it's just the best thing to say. You know, a base hit up the middle. We're so back.
We're so back,
and we are back.
We are back, and like this is what we said last week. We said in this very room, it's very early in the season. This is a good baseball team.
Yeah.
Teams go on 6-game losing streaks, 5-game losing streaks. It sucks it had to be the first week, but it's going to happen.
It does. And, you know, like we also said, when you look at the way the Mets lost those games, they were close games. They had a game go scoreless into extra innings. They had another game going to extra innings on that first homestand. My biggest thing here is that the Mets have now won 3 straight series. They're 7-3 in their past 10 games.
Can I say something?
Please do.
Somebody commented on our YouTube video.
Uh-oh.
And they put something like, well, they actually didn't win this series because one game was moved to September. That's BS.
It is BS because that becomes a 4-game series, and that person just...
No, that actually becomes a 3-game series. It was a 2-game series.
No, I'm saying the one in...
the one in September becomes
it was
a 2-game series.
I didn't know that. Okay, so that becomes a 3.
So what's the problem?
The problem is whoever wrote that, and thanks for the comment. We appreciate the interaction, but like... Stop being a fun sucker, you know?
Yeah.
The boys went to Atlanta. They took 2 out of 3.
Did they win a series of games?
They won a trio. There were 3 games. They won 2 out of them, 2 out of 3, 67%, so on and so forth. Come on now. But the Mets go to Cincy, a good team. They go to Atlanta, a good team who has its problems, but still a good team. The best lineup in the National League. I think we can all agree, probably baseball. And now the Mets take 2 or 3 from Kansas City, who had won 7 straight games before coming into Citi Field this weekend. So the Mets aren't just playing good baseball, but they're doing it against good teams, and they'll play another good team this week, and we'll talk about that. But that's the biggest thing, is that the Mets have won these games against good teams. So, and they're doing a lot of good things right.
They're doing a lot of good things right. I mean, it has been fun at the ballpark the last few days.
Yeah.
Now let's get into some core topics real quick. What are our core topics going to be for today, John? Mets winning another series. Pirates coming up this week. Interviews with French Montana and You'll see that. Well, no, actually, you would have seen that clip already. That clip might have brought you here. Tyrone Taylor around the city, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the dock ceremony and just things you might not have known from the behind-the-scenes aspect and what it's like to be here the day of a big moment like that.
I have an apology to issue at one point in the show.
Ooh, I don't know. Is it to somebody specific?
It is to a group of people.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's thrilling. I feel like that's a great teaser.
I don't apologize.
That could go any way.
And I don't like saying sorry.
But let's get into the series win to start. We just kind of talked about it a little. The Royals are a good team. Mm-hmm. The power was on.
Yeah. All right. So the first thing I want to say about the Royals, Bobby Witt Jr. is so much fun to watch. He is such a stud. The Royals have just one of the most dynamic, exciting players in the sport, and it's awesome that he signed that long extension. He's going to be there forever. But yeah, just watching him run around the bases all weekend, it's impressive. I mean, you know, thankfully we take 2 out of 3, so we can say things like that. If it were the other way around, I probably wouldn't be putting that out there. But
no,
it was really fun to watch that guy play.
Especially because, one, Bobby Witt Jr., agree or disagree, he has a name that's way more fit to be a country musician than a baseball player.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Right?
I wonder if he's witty in general.
That's a good point. His name is witty. He could be a comic. But Bobby Witt Jr. seems like the perfect, like, deep voice, like he would sing Brooke Raley's walk-up music.
Song slaps.
It does.
Song slaps.
I find myself humming it every single time. Don't hum it because we'll get taken off.
The Mets lost Aaron Loop, who also had an incredible entry song in 2021. He goes to the Angels. No, Loop was here, I think.
Loop was 1 year.
Yeah, he was here for 1 year. Yeah.
21.
Yeah, it was 21.
21.
And then the Mets acquired Brooks Raley, who kind of filled that void with the great country entry song.
The low like. Don't stop! Don't do it. We'll get taken off.
It was just a little sample, a little snippet.
I'm just talking about Shaft.
I know. All right, keep going.
He doesn't know what that means.
I don't understand it at all. Can you explain that?
I'm just so
You say I'm just talking about Shaft?
Shaft. That's how the theme song for Shaft goes. Shaft. It would be like he's a bad mother, and then the background singers would go, "Shut your mouth," and then Isaac Hayes would go, "I'm just talking about Shaft."
Oh, that's where that's from?
Yeah. So you did know what it was from.
I know the tune, but I didn't know the origin. I've heard of that, but I have no idea where it's from kind of guy.
That's fair. That's what I'm here for. You're here to teach me more about baseball. I'm here to teach you more about pop culture. And we're here to teach everybody about how the Mets just won another series. And it's just a really exciting time. And I said the power's back, but it was not just on power. It was on classic baseball base hits bunting.
It was starting Marte laid down a beautiful bunt. It was about the pitching, especially on Friday night. The Mets bullpen combined for 4 scoreless after Luis Severino threw 5 strong innings. Sevy's been great. He has a 3 even ERA on the season. The Kamehameha was in full effect on Friday night. DJ Razor getting it done. Thank God we unearthed that little nugget about. We got to find out though if he heard it and if he liked it.
We got to ask him about it.
We need feedback.
Now, I sent over a few different things. We used the Kamehameha.
Yeah.
And I sent Razor about 4 or 5 different tunes. One of them he said he's definitely going to use, but there's a certain trigger that's going to attach to it.
Okay.
So I'm going to say this.
Keep it a secret.
I'm going to say this, though. If you can guess what the sound is and what triggers that sound.
From Dragon Ball Z?
From Dragon Ball Z.
Count me out.
If you can
I'm not
guess,
gonna guess this.
If you can guess what the trigger is going to be and what has to be done and what that sound will be, I'll send you a signed baseball. You just have
Vito's going to sign it himself.
Oh, and it's the first person to get it. No, I'm going to send you a signed Jose Quintana baseball because we don't have a Sevy baseball, but we do have a Jose Quintana baseball. I'm going to send you that baseball. All you have to do is be the first person to guess what are the stipulations and what is the sound of this Luis Severino.
No.
I think that's a tougher trivia question than mine last week.
It was.
Yeah. No one's getting that Jose Quintana ball is going to just stay where it is.
Here's the thing. Honestly, if you like Dragon Ball Z, I think you can figure it out because it's one of the most famous quotes, and I'm not going to give any more hints. But so the pitching was great. We had Jose Butto go out today, who we said this last week. We brought him up on Future of Flushing all year last year. We said he was a solid piece. You're going to see him be one of the most effective pitching prospects we have up this year.
Yeah, I mean, he's on the verge of not being a prospect anymore. Going back to last season, if you go to his last 7 major league outings, he had a sub-3 ERA entering the day. This year, over 2 starts, 12 innings, 15 strikeouts, just 1 run allowed today. Changeup was on fleek. I believe people say that.
And like 10 years ago.
That's a 10 years ago thing.
Like maybe, I don't know, maybe my grandpa said that, like in World War II.
Okay. Well, anyway, 9 strikeouts today for Jose Butto, a new career high. 5 of them came via the changeup. Folks, Jose Butto is here, and we have so many butt puns coming your way, both on the scoreboard at Citi Field and here on the podcast. Did you see the one that was up today?
I did. Booty, booty, booty.
Well, yeah, there was that, and then we also had I like Butto and I cannot lie.
Okay, that's good. When you put up the better's box today, that was like
Lord Charles.
Lord Charles.
Yeah.
Was there any piece you was like, what if Jose Butto just tries to like
throw a curveball in honor of Doc?
In honor of Doc.
Would have been a baller move. How about, dude, I was so upset. Late in the game, the Mets entered the 9th inning with 13 strikeouts as a team. And I was like, if Edwin Diaz can strike out the side here, they will have 16 strikeouts on the day the Mets retire 16. And then he got the first guy to strike out, and it didn't happen.
I'm sorry. But it was a good weekend other than that.
Oh, it was a great weekend. I mean, we can kind of skip Saturday's game anyway. You know, it wasn't. Jeff McNeil on Friday night, 3 hits, serving balls all over the field. Love that. Absolutely love that. An incredible sign that Jeff is back to his basics. When he tries to muscle up, that's not his game. When he's serving pitches with them, other way, going with the pitch up the middle, that's Jeff McNeil baseball. So I love to see that on Friday night. Jeff McNeil seems to have that stroke back. But let's just fast forward to Sunday. The incredible ceremony. Not even rain could damper it at all. It was such a nice ceremony, I thought. And I've been here for a few of them, as we discussed a couple weeks ago. I thought that the ceremony was just absolutely beautiful. Doc truly spoke from the heart. I mean, he really let it all hang loose. He told the story about how the Mets parted ways with him in '94, and he went to the Yankees, and he kept trying to come back, and they kept saying no, but he surmised it, and it all came together with, I'm always a Met. I always wanted to be a Met. I was never happy with the way it ended.
He knew how to pop the crowd. Every time he brought up the Yankees and he lost them for a second, which was more than I think anybody thought he was bringing up the Yankees. But every time he brought up the Yankees, I said, I'm always going to be a Met, though, and that got the crowd with him. Beautiful speech. Howie, I don't know if you heard what Howie said.
Was hilarious.
Did you hear what Howie said, though, during the radio broadcast about the rain and, like,
no,
how, like, this is so representative of Doc just weathering the storm throughout his entire life, and then on the other side coming out to, like, this beautiful sunny weather. Like, just it was a great point, and, like, only Howie Rose can paint a picture like that.
Yeah, and he was great during the ceremony. When Doc was over with Keith and Ron, and it was time to unveil the number, Howie goes, Doc, you have a minute? That was, I mean, he's the best for a reason, you know. He's so good in those ceremonies because no one knows Mets history like Howie Rose.
No, it's not just a script. It's somebody who literally knows all of that information on their own.
He hits all the right P's and Q's, and he just speaks to the entire Met fan base when he does those ceremonies. So can't beat Howie.
And another group of people we got to mention is the amazing editors we have at the New York Mets. Anthony, Mo, Safia, Amanda, all of them are just absolutely incredible. And I think Anthony is the main guy behind the doc video that went up today. And you can go check that up on the Mets YouTube. That doc video, I think, might be my favorite one I've seen at a Hall of Fame yet.
It was awesome. Keith Hernandez was really good too. But you know what's great is that they're all so different, and they all are so tailored to the moment and the person that we're honoring. And, you know, it's not a cookie cutter thing. They're all so unique.
Like this had a complete like narrative structure. Like like the conductor, like the spotlight, like the doc watching his video in the empty ballpark. All the scenes from like 80s New York outside of just the Mets, like the 80s music, like all the 80s music that played at the ballpark today.
Yep.
Like it was.
Shout out Chad Dinses on the organ, by the way. Chad learned a bunch of 80s music for today to organ. It was great.
It was just so incredible. That was such a good ceremony and such a good video that I can't even fathom to start thinking about what Daryl's is going to be like.
Maybe in a produce section somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a lot of strawberry. What are you going to do? You going to just do like strawberry stuff?
I don't know. There's a baby sensory thing called Hey Bear that's on YouTube.
Okay.
And my wife and I show Sophia it all the time. And there's like a dancing strawberry. So it's like all neon to really catch the attention of infants. And I want to maybe clip off a little dancing strawberry. It's great. You should check out Hey Bear. Good music, good tunes.
I don't have a kid yet though, so it's
I know, but I started to enjoy it.
I know. I just feels like if
like
you were
Stockholm syndrome, you just like eventually start to like your captor.
If you were to walk in and just saw me watching Hey Bear,
just take a look so you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, check it out.
Okay, you watch Back to the Future, I'll watch that.
I'm game. I just need some free time. That's the problem. In spring training, I told Brendan, I told Jenna, I told Mike, I said, guys, I have something to say. I want to start watching movies, but I just haven't.
But he hasn't, and it's been a long time. But
I'm watching Met baseball now.
Why don't we throw to an interview?
Which one?
We have 2 interviews to go to.
Don't stop, pop that, don't stop. Pop that, pop that, pop that. It's a preview.
Let's throw to French Montana. We spoke to French before the game the other day. It was really cool to speak to French Montana.
It was awesome.
Not somebody I think either of us ever thought we would just happen to interview at a Mets game.
No, but that's the thing is that, first of all, when people like French are coming and people like G-Eazy, like Citi Field's the place to be.
Yeah.
Especially, dude, today the crowd was electric. It was awesome. This is the spot. French came out on Friday, threw out the first pitch. Luckily, didn't 50 Cent it. I wonder if he was thinking about what I said to him. You'll see that in the interview.
You'll see that in the interview. No spoilers.
No spoilers. But yeah, I mean, there's a true intersection between pop culture and sports and music and art and all sorts of things. And this podcast is kind of like that. That's what we want to talk about. Not just straight baseball. Not too much exit velocity.
There's other shows for that.
Yeah, maybe a little bit induced vertical break, but not too much. But French was a total example of that. And I think he enjoyed talking to us. And check it out, right?
So here it is, our interview with French Montana.
Hey, Vito Calisi, Jonathan Barron. We're here with French Montana. French, you're getting ready to throw out the first pitch right now. I've never thrown a first pitch, but I've thought about it a lot. Have you done any sort of warm-up? Have you worked with, have you thought about it at all? You're just going in raw.
Believing in God, man. Yeah.
Not a warm-up or anything, just going out there.
Just going out there.
Not to put any bad thoughts in your head or put them out there, but have you seen the video of 50 Cent's first pitch back here in 2014? You know about that?
Yeah, he missed the whole thing.
He missed. Yeah, that's one nice way of putting it. All right,
Yeah,
so
I see it.
all right, so if you do better than that, like your money.
I hope so. I hope so. Ain't no telling.
Now, your music is super hype. A lot of baseball players have used your music for walk-up songs.
Yeah.
Do you have any songs in particular you think are especially good for walk-up music, or you've seen anybody use?
Man, most of them I make, just like club anthems. So it's like usually you just use them in the gym, do whatever you want. From Pop That to All the Way Up to I Ain't Worried About Nothing. All of them.
All the Way Up is in my daily. Like that's usually like I would say my first or second song.
Yeah.
On the treadmill. I'll listen to that to just get me going.
Yeah, for sure. And it's a New York classic.
It is. And Pop Up. Shout out Sigma Pi, Indiana.
Yeah.
That song, dude, 2013. That was the anthem of the year. So
yeah, Pop That. Hell yeah.
That one banged. We met here tonight at Citi Field.
Okay.
But so sports and music, there's such a natural intersection. I know you grew up playing basketball. You played AAU.
Yeah.
But they say that all musicians want to be athletes and all athletes want to be musicians. So like, where is that intersection between the two in your mind?
I think that's the only two options we have in the hood when you're trying to get out of it and become, and make your dreams come true. I think, Cameron came out with an album, and he said either you're selling crack rock, so you got a wicked jump shot. So it's like, it's only like three things. You're gonna go to school, you're gonna play basketball, or you're gonna play sports. So we want the big bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the big bucks. That's where the big bucks is at.
You ever play baseball?
I tried it a couple times, but not as serious though.
Okay, you were more of a basketball guy. You played ball.
My daily routine in my days is like baseball. I slide here, I might slide over there, throw a little pitch, I might curve somebody, you know what I'm saying? I might throw a little curve, so it's all part of my daily routine.
We hear you. What are you most excited for at the Met game tonight?
For my pitch.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. What about ballpark eats?
Like that?
What about ballpark eats? A lot of the experience here is the great food, and Citi Field has the best ballpark food.
Of course. No, I'm here. I'm
in
here
the
for the
Delta
game.
Club, hand-rolled sushi. There's a sushi chef in there just making it. And I know ballpark sushi, you might be thinking,
it's good stuff.
I don't know about that, but that's our dinner every night.
For real?
Yeah.
Man, I just started the gym with my son like a couple days ago, so I don't know, man. Y'all try to set me back a couple days. So we're gonna go to that kitchen and see what they got healthy.
So another thing you're into, of course, sports and music, but also fashion.
Yeah.
And the Mets team store brings the heat. So we actually just picked these up from the team store.
Mets
what do you think about these?
Mets hands down have the best colors in the history of baseball. So there's nothing to it.
We got to get you outfitted in some blue and orange here tonight.
Yeah, please.
All right.
I need it, and I need to fit it.
All right. Well, we can hook you up with that for sure.
Are you a flat rim or are you a curved rim?
All flat.
Back to sports and music. The Moroccan World Cup team in 2022 went on an incredible run.
Shocked the world.
Shocked the world.
Yeah.
You're a Moroccan, and you made a song for the team. What was that experience like, getting involved and really being a part of the historical run?
I never seen Morocco make it that far, so I was just excited for the whole country. Just excited, just to see anybody make it that far from where we come from. Because just the opportunities, are limited. So just to stand up like that, during the whole world, World Cup is big.
I know a podcast that could possibly use a new theme song. I'm just saying, we just started up.
Nah, let's see how that pitch go first.
Okay, I mean, we didn't. If it doesn't go well, don't blame us.
Yeah, let me make sure I don't hit nobody in the head with that pitch.
Now, I was reading about you before this, and I saw that you have a pet monkey named Julius Caesar.
Julius Caesar, yeah.
Do you still have the pet monkey?
Yeah, he's with his father in Vegas.
Now, just what do you do with a pet monkey? I know you don't. I'm assuming you don't walk a pet monkey.
Nah, just chill with him. You just gotta have a big enough house and just play with him and just enjoy yourself, raise him a little bit. But when he got to a certain age, I gave him to his father so he could be with his family.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever played basketball with him?
Yeah, I definitely played basketball with him.
No way. The monkey can shoot. Does the monkey have a nice shag?
No, he didn't shoot. He
Okay.
couldn't shoot, but it was
Up and down the court.
a little ball. Yeah. No, definitely. We jumping around. We trying to bite the ball.
That's not good.
Yeah, get the air out. Yeah, for sure.
How old's the monkey now?
It was 6 years old when I gave it to his father.
So do you have anything coming out that you'd want to let the people know about?
Mac and Cheese mixtape. Mac and Cheese 5 is out right now. Go get that. You know what I mean? And you can follow me, French Montana, on every platform.
This is going to be a big night. We're really excited to have you on hand here.
First pitch.
First pitch.
Mets, French Montana is going down. Stay tuned.
All right, French. Thanks so much for joining us. Best of luck with the pitch, dude.
Thank you for having me.
And you can subscribe to the podcast on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. meet at the Apple, and leave us some reviews, leave us some comments, and make sure to subscribe.
Just like that.
How'd you like that interview?
I love the interview. I love your Muppet noise that you have.
It's not a Muppet noise.
It sounds Muppety.
What's tough for me is that I, have a deep voice, and then they're all like, "Oh, it's too high pitched," and I'm like,
I think that I edited that.
I don't get it.
Edited that clip, and I noticed you got a little testy with French towards the end of the clip, and I think it was because he said to you that was a little too high pitched, and John's like, if there's one thing about me that's not true, it's that I don't have a high pitched voice, and I think that snaps something in the John brain.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think.
What if you started a baseball brand called John Brain?
John Brain?
John Brain.
Oh, like John Boy.
Whoa, I didn't say that. I just said John Brain.
Yeah, I think Mr. French respected the fact that
Mr. French, wouldn't it be Mr. Montana?
I don't know. The fact that I kind of pushed back against him a little bit. He's taking swipes at me and my but
no, I think he definitely respected it.
Yeah.
I never expected to do an interview on a Mets podcast talking about a pet monkey, but
no.
But an opportunity came up and I took it.
Yes. And an opportunity came up to ask him if he could make a song for the podcast, which he just totally blew off. He was like, yeah, and then just like moved on to the next question.
No, I think he thought we were talking about Take Me Out to the Ball Game or something. I don't know.
G-Eazy had the hot take.
He did.
Take Me Out to the Ball Game needs to be reimagined.
Which, I don't disagree with.
No.
I don't know if this is true. I don't know if this is true.
You cannot touch Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Hey, baby.
Harry, you agree? Can't touch it. Can't touch it. Thank you.
Yeah, you should.
Dylan, you agree?
Yeah, can't touch it.
Can't touch it? Now, if you were to touch it, what would you possibly replace it with?
I don't know.
Dylan, I have a better question for you. Arizona Coyotes on the move, Salt Lake City. What should their name be? Have you thought about it yet? Come on, Dylan, give me
Why
something.
can't they keep the Coyotes?
Because they don't have Coyotes in Salt Lake City.
They don't have Jazz in Utah either.
That was dumb. They should have changed that. The Alpines?
What about the... Never mind. I shouldn't make the joke I was going to make.
What?
It was about just like people who live in Salt Lake City.
I agree.
I don't think you could do that.
Yeah, that was my point.
Yeah.
I almost wore my Coyotes jersey to a bar last night.
You should have. April 19th is going to be their swan song. 17th. BYU, they're the Cougars, right? I wonder what the inspiration is behind that. Maybe we can get Zach Wilson on the pod and we can ask him.
But real quick, I want to get back to this point about Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Yeah.
I'm not saying completely rewrite it, but I'm saying like an updated, maybe add some
a hip hop remix.
That sounds lame. I don't know. That sounds lame.
Me out.
Look at this. Look at look at him peeking in, like waiting for us to finish.
We got Peaky Blinders over here. Do you think Take Me Out to the Ball Game should be touched up a little bit? No? You like it as it is?
We got a little tradition in baseball.
All right.
Let's talk now. Wait, let's take a little break.
Okay.
Let's throw to our interview with Tyrone Taylor. We recorded it back at spring training.
Yes.
Tyrone Taylor is a guy.
He's a guy. He told us it was the first podcast he had ever done. We couldn't tell, but he's been awesome, playing great. He's never. This is going to sound so jinxy, and if he commits an error this week, I'm never going to hear the end of it. He's never committed an error in his big league career.
Really?
Never. Not one.
Can I say something? Because I'm going to say something, and then if I have to take it out, the person who would have to tell me to take it out is here. John said to Carlos Mendoza right after our first interview with him,
oh, God.
It took Willie Randolph 5 games till he got his first win.
That's not the proper context. What I asked him was, what are you going to celebrate your first victory with? And I just said, I fondly remember that Willie Randolph, after he earned his first victory, had a cigar that he told the media about, and he didn't get to smoke it till the 6th game. That was it.
So, if Tyrone Taylor commits an error this week, you know where to go find the person who caused it.
Not going to happen. Tyrone's playing good ball. Tyrone was another shrewd move by David Stearns and company.
David Stearns masterclass.
That's all there is to it.
Dude, this is a really fun interview. We're not going to give you too much preview because you can just listen to it right here. So, check it out. Us and Tyrone Taylor. What was it like to get traded to this team, one of the first moves of David Stearns' offseason this year?
It was right around Christmas time, and my first feeling, I feel like I was shocked. I had been a Brewer my whole career since 2012. Got drafted at 18 years old, and that's all I knew. So I was shocked at first, but then once that feeling went away, there was just nothing but excitement to have a new opportunity, get to see something different, and just thankful for it.
Other than wearing the Mets uniform and playing in front of the great fans, what excites you the most about coming to New York, the center of it all?
Yeah, I think all of that, man. just having this new opportunity and meeting my teammates, meeting these guys, knowing how well they've done playing against them. They're such great players on this roster, you know, to be around and to learn from. So I'm excited about the fans. I'm excited about the city as a whole. You know, whenever we'd have off days in New York, it was like the best place to have off days because there's so much to do, you know.
Where'd you go when you were in New York?
I would just walk around the city full, yeah, like I would just roam around all day, bro.
Any spots you liked especially?
Dude, there's this pizza spot kind of near, I don't remember what it was called.
Where was it near?
Town Square-ish.
Sabaro?
Oh, Patsy's? Carmine's is like a giant
Carmine's.
Italian restaurant.
Yeah, no.
Spaghetti and pizza.
Spaghetti and pizza. I don't know. We got to find
Well,
this.
you
together.
liked it.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah. I'm
right.
excited about the food there too, for
All
sure.
right, so then that brings us to a great question. Where do you stand on brats versus hot dogs? Because in New York, you're not finding a brat cart. You're only getting a hot dog in New York City.
Dude, I when we were in New York, I ate like 5 hot dogs. Don't.
Well, you just said it on the pod,
I know, I was
Tyrone.
gonna say, don't say that. Don't say all anybody. But yeah, I had like 5 Nathans, bro, walking around Central Park and stuff. Every car. My buddy was out there too because it's such a cool place to be. So he came out and visited that series. And we had an off day, and we were walking around, and that's all we ate the whole day. Anytime we saw a cart, we were stopping and crushing.
How do you load it?
I just did mustard and ketchup. I didn't go
Both. Both
Yeah,
on there,
yeah.
okay.
I'm just glad you didn't say like a raw glizzy because people who do that roast me out.
Yeah.
That's a different.
That's a different type of beast, man. Like, what are you doing?
Were you a brat guy, though? Because I know that's giant in Wisconsin, of course. That and cheese curds.
Or was it weird
I like-
because your friends were in the race and you were like, oh, I don't want to eat you?
No, I like brats, but I didn't really crush as many as you would think when I was there. I think when I was younger, I crushed more. I lived with the host family in Appleton, Wisconsin, my first year in pro ball, my first full season. It was low A, and they would have barbecues and stuff, and I would crush so many brats. But yeah, I think I would go dogs over brats.
Yeah, brats are tougher to crush, I feel like.
I'm just
They're
amazed.
girthier, right?
I'm amazed you could crush brats.
I think that's the first time the word girth has been mentioned on Meet at the Apple. I'm not sure if it's going to make it in the final. Hopefully it does.
I'm keeping it in. I'm the editor.
Why not? Why not, right? We're just being real here on the show.
So you got traded with Adrian Hauser. What was it like? Did you hit each other up to be like, yo, get ready, we're going to New York City, baby?
No, it was one of those things where you're like back in the day in school gets out, summertime, you're all focused on what you're trying to do in the summer, and then you come back to school and your boy's there and you're like, what's up? Like you never missed a step. I think it's one of those things. So when I saw him here, I was excited to see him. I already knew he was going to be here, so it definitely had some comfort to the being in a new place kind of deal.
And since you made your debut with the Brewers, there's a really interesting story. You made your debut in September 2019, and after the AAA season had ended, you weren't part of the September call-up crops, and you were applying for jobs totally outside of baseball. Can you kind of tell us about that whole time in your life?
Yeah, so the season ended, and it was a time where I'd been in the minor leagues for, I think that was my eighth year. So in the offseason, I needed to get a job. It was going to be my first time having a real job, and I applied to FedEx to be a package handler. And after that, I hadn't heard back from them. I went home to visit my family. I was in Arizona, so I drove home to visit my family and stuff and hang out for a little bit. End of the season, just relaxing. And all of a sudden, like a week later of being home, chilling with my family, me and my mom are watching Netflix. I get a call from farm director Tom Flanagan saying that I needed to be in the big leagues the next day.
Oh my God!
It was cool. It was cool because normally, like, you get called up with your teammates and stuff, and you're all celebrating, and then you call your family and you're all emotional. But I was with my mom at the time and like with my family there when I got the call, so it was cool to celebrate with them.
On that topic, do you remember who you got your first major league hit against?
Yeah, it was Dwayne Underwood.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. That's right.
The Grammys just happened, right?
They
Yes.
did. Did you watch?
Yeah, I watched that with my
Who do you
girl.
like?
Dude, I kind of dig Miley Cyrus.
Yo, that was a phenomenal performance.
Right?
That was amazing, and she was having fun. I liked when she was like, I just won my first Grammy. The dances were interesting. The dances were a lot of that, a lot of like
that was cool.
a lot of that.
Maybe she's just gonna make she's bringing something into the world.
On the topic of music, might you use a Miley Cyrus song when you walk out? Are you the kind of guy who's picking one walk-up song, keeping it for the whole year? Because some guys like have a different song every at-bat.
Yeah, it depends. Maybe like if I go in a little slump or something, I'll change it up just to get something different. But I'll probably have a couple.
Wrecking ball?
this year.
Party in the USA would be cool. Wrecking ball. That would be awesome. That would be. Maybe take our advice on that one.
I would
and then we
try.
could play the clip, and it could be like Tyrone Taylor open to new suggestions. I mean, look how personable he is.
I am open-minded.
I would get
I don't know
emotional.
if I'll go Miley, dude.
Oh, okay.
Don't lie to me. You won't get emotional.
I would.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
if
this-
I was having like a rough day and then I heard Wrecking Ball at the stadium when we were, I would probably just like, I would one of a slow.
The No Sean Moreno tier. You know what I'm talking about during the anthem when he just had like one massive drop come out of his eyeball.
That's intense.
Yeah, it was. Look it up. Look it up.
Do you like Olivia Rodrigo?
I never knew her until I saw that performance at the Grammys. It was,
Love Olivia Rodrigo.
It was cool.
You guys watch the entire Grammys from start to finish? Because I didn't watch a second of it.
I mean, my wife likes to watch it, and
Red carpets too.
yeah, we watch all the red
Do
carpet.
you have kids?
No.
Yeah, I have a daughter, so like whenever you're trying to watch something, you really don't watch the full thing. You kind of like I'm dealing with her at the same time and like getting clips of the Grammys while I'm watching it.
How old is she?
She's 1.
Oh wow! All right, I have an 8-month-old. So
Oh, nice.
how about you give me a piece of girl dad advice, and maybe I don't know if you need mine, but
Why would you give him advice? Nobody wants your advice. We want his advice.
yeah, I guess you never know. I
This
can,
I don't know
guy-
if anybody wants my advice.
No, we
either.
all want your advice.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
don't want
Let's
girthy
hear it.
glizzy
Let's hear
boy.
I feel like we're all like every parent's different, man. You just go with the flow. Every person's different, so you just go with the flow and learn as you go. That's what I'm doing at least. And
Are they here?
It's been so fun. Nah, they're not. I miss her, dude. That's the thing. I was in Arizona spring training before, and then I lived in Arizona, so it was like an extra month and a half of off season, if you will, like being able to spend time with my family. So that was cool. But they're gonna come out here and visit. So
well, we've gotten to know you pretty well so far, I'd say, but we want to get to know you a little bit better, and of course, Mets fans do as well. So we're going to play a little game called Meet the Met. We're going to throw something out there, and you're just going to answer it real quick. All right.
are you gonna? Is it gonna be like me learning?
No.
Or,
No, we're meeting you.
We're learning about you.
okay.
Yeah. All right.
Okay,
So here we
cool.
go. What is Tyrone Taylor's favorite emoji to use?
Probably this one.
Shaka.
Yeah.
I love that.
He went to Hawaii one time. He came back. He wouldn't stop shocking.
Where do you want to travel to next?
I don't know. I've only been out of the country once, to Toronto. I just got a passport when I was 28. I'm 30 now, so only a couple years ago.
That thing's gonna be good for a while. You can go anywhere now.
Yeah, I would like to get out there. I haven't really looked up exactly where the.
If you could trade cars with any one of your teammates, who would it be?
Whoever has a Rolls Royce.
I know who
dude.
it is.
Who is
Oh,
it?
you
I
found
found
out?
out.
Who
I
is
did
it?
some research. I did some beat reporting. It's Quintana.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Severino yesterday said the same thing. But we also realized, so we asked Severino what his dream car was, and he said, I don't really have a dream car, but I have a Lamborghini.
Which just casually said that. And then Vito's like, oh, I have a RAV4.
No, I said I want. No, I didn't even say I have one because I don't. I said I want to get a RAV4, and he said I can hook you up with my guy. And I was like, to get a cheaper RAV4? He said, no, for a Lamborghini. And I was like, bro, I host a podcast.
You're on your way up, baby. Come on.
All right.
What's your favorite TV show?
There's so many, man.
Like right
I've
now.
binged.
You know what? I'm
I
gonna
don't know.
I'm gonna change it.
I'm going Sons of Anarchy, even though I haven't seen it in years, man. But that's the first thing that came to my mind right now.
Or a different one we can do. Who's your favorite TV dad?
TV Dad.
Yeah.
It's a challenging one.
That's way more difficult.
Yeah, that's
How's that?
challenging.
Like, there's so many TV
I
dads.
just struggled with TV show, and you went TV Dad on me.
Can't just be a male character. It's got to be a male character that's
A
recreated.
male character
That's
with
procreating.
offspring. No, we'll skip that one.
Yeah,
right.
good, because my mind's it's blank.
Most famous person in your contacts.
Most famous person in my contacts, probably a baseball player. Right now, probably Christian Yelich.
Christian Yelich. Hi, Ellie.
Socks before pants?
Yes, socks before pants.
Last one. What's your go-to burrito order?
Ooh, where like
We have no partners. We have no sponsors here, so how to keep it vague.
I love breakfast, so I'm a big breakfast burrito guy.
Little eggs, chorizo, cheese.
Oh yeah,
All right.
fire me up,
How much do you miss Arizona?
dude. After I miss it, I don't really miss Arizona as much as I miss my family being in Arizona. You know,
We loved Arizona. We went for the fall league.
Yeah.
Can't tell you how much we fell in love with it.
But nobody really had anything good to say about Port St. Lucie before I got here, and I dig it, man. I like it here a lot.
You saved that because that was almost cut from the episode.
It's got everything I need. I feel like.
Yeah. What do you like to do out here?
Well, I'm like a big homebody, so I just chill. But when I do get out, I like to go eat, and I already ate at this Tutto Fresco place out here.
Yeah.
Have you been to Kyle G's?
No, not yet. I heard about that.
Check
too.
out Kyle
Yeah.
G's.
Have you been to Pop Stroke? Get some mini golf in?
I've been to Pop Stroke in Arizona. Pretty cool.
Yeah, Tradition's got a lot of cool stuff, so definitely check that out.
There was an Italian festival we went to last night.
Oh yeah, I was trying to go to. Is that by the the landing or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to go to Taco Dive last night.
That's where it
I
is,
heard
yeah.
It's bomb, and then I just driving around and there was a lot going on, so I just went back
parking.
home. Then I ordered
We
Tutto
would have ran
Fresco
into you.
again.
We were there last night.
Yeah, we were. Well, a lot of good Italian food in New York City. We can't wait to see you in New York City. Thanks for joining us. Best of luck this year, and this was fun. Hopefully we do it again soon.
Yeah, it's
I hope
cool.
you
Nice
enjoyed
meeting you
this.
guys.
First
Yeah, it
time we've
was
said girth on the podcast.
So that was Tyrone Taylor. Like we said, off to a great start with the Mets. The grand slam, great defense, timely hitting, laid down a nice bunt on Sunday. But anyway, we're going to try to wrap this up and not be too elongated. We were just told to, keep things moving along.
Which is fair.
A little pace of play.
Pitch clock.
Pitch clock. So we teased me issuing an apology earlier in the game, or in the show.
Earlier in the game.
It's been a long weekend in the show. And here it is. So some fans that were here on Saturday may have noticed a couple of highlights from another sporting event that was happening in New York City, but not here. And that was the Ranger-Islander game. Started at 12:30, bled into our game, went to a shootout. And on the scoreboard here at Citi Field, we showed 2 updates. And they happen to be Ranger goals. And I think that there were some people, I was outside before the game yesterday and I saw a decent amount of Islander fans and Ranger fans. People were definitely sporting their team as the two teams played a big game. And I saw some people that noticed only Ranger highlights were shown. I was in the director's chair yesterday.
Oh, wow.
And I'm being forthright.
What team are you a fan of again?
I'm a Ranger fan.
That's interesting.
Yes. So here is why that happened. We do a feature called Carbon Copy.
Don't look at me.
We do a feature called Carbon Copy where we take fans who look like celebrities. You guys know the drill. When it was about time for Carbon Copy yesterday, the skies opened up and everyone scurried. So the people that we had identified, they weren't in their seats anymore. So live production, sometimes you got to just call an audible and call it off. So we did. I was prepared to show the second Islander goal. So we had shown the first Ranger goal earlier in the game. Didn't show any Islander goals because innings 2 through 3, mid-4 are jammed with content.
Pitch clock.
So I was prepared to do Carbon Copy, and then all of a sudden it falls through. And I said, okay, cue up the second Islander goal. And just like that, I'm told Rangers just tied it with like 4 minutes and change left. So I had this huge gap, and I was like, all right, so whatever. Let's just show the Ranger goal. So we showed the Ranger goal. And then it was brought to my attention, you've now shown 2 Ranger goals and 0 Islander goals. And I said, I know. And I felt bad about that. So when the game goes to the shootout, I send our CMO, who's also a big Ranger fan, a note. And I said, I kind of hope the Islanders win because I need to show an Islander highlight. Otherwise, people are going to be pissed. And then the Rangers won in the shootout.
So that's your apology.
So we didn't show it. So what I want to clarify is that it was not on purpose. I was ready and willing and excited to show the Islander victory, even though I'm a Ranger fan, and I certainly was not rooting for the Islanders by any means. But they didn't win. And we did not show the shootout winner. So I'm sorry, and it was not on purpose. It was just a matter of scheduling and things like that. And that was it. We love all the teams here. If the Devils were to make the playoffs, we would show them on the big screen too. But that's unfortunately not happening.
I hope everybody's okay with that apology. I know a lot of you have been waiting for that.
I saw some tweets. So I just want to clear it up.
No, I know.
I just like clearing things up.
I hope that John is able to rise from the rubble. That was his moment of that was your cancellation moment.
Hey, both teams are in the playoffs, and I promise we will.
Dylan just yawned really hard.
We will show highlights from both games all postseason long. Both teams, we could have a second round meeting.
All right,
let's move on.
Let's move on. Let's quickly talk about the Pirates coming into town this week. The first of those games is going to be the Black Legacy game here at Citi Field, which is also Jackie Robinson Day. So if you show up and every single player is wearing 42, that's why. You're not crazy. Everybody's wearing 42 in honor of Jackie Robinson, one of the most important players to play Major League Baseball. I love Jackie Robinson Day. I wish Robinson Cano was still here because he's the Jackie Robinson Day hero.
He is. And, of course, Shea Stadium is where the number was officially retired league-wide back in 97. So Jackie Robinson Day and the New York Mets have a special place with each other.
Yeah, the president was here. Rachel Robinson was here.
Rachel will be here tomorrow as well, I believe.
That's awesome.
As
well,
will
today.
David.
Today.
On Monday. As will David Robinson, Jackie's son.
That's awesome. Yep. I really want to go to the Jackie Robinson Museum downtown. I've been wanting to go since it opened. I have no reason for not having gone at this point. But let's talk about some of those matchups. Monday, which is tonight, if you're listening to this, Adrian Hauser goes up against Perez. Tuesday, Jose Quintana versus Jared Jones. And then what's Wednesday's game?
Wednesday will be Luis Severino against former Philly Bailey Falter.
Come on, more of those.
That's right.
More of those.
That's right. Martin Perez, very interesting. Had a good year with Texas last year. Starling Marte, he sees Martin Perez well. I like Starling Marte in a matchup against Martin Perez on Monday. We can come back to that and see if that comes to fruition. But Starling had a good weekend, had 3 hits on Saturday, including a home run. Continues to play well, so I like that matchup for Starling. The Mets have been pretty good against left-handed pitchers as well.
Yeah, and Starling has just been really fun to watch at the plate.
He has. And Adrian Hauser had a great first start with the Mets back here a couple Thursdays ago. So the two-seam, the sinker, whatever you want to call it, it's a really great weapon for him, and I'm sure it'll be on full display. This is actually going to be a matchup between the top 2 ERAs in the National League. Pirates have passed the Mets by, I think, a couple tenths of a run. So the Pirates have done really well run preventing, and obviously so have the Mets.
If we take the ERA back at the end of that series, you know what we start this off with?
What?
Mets are back.
Mets are back. And the Pirates walking the plank.
Ooh, I like that. All right, around the city. Just going to talk quickly about some stuff we did at the ballpark, some stuff we've seen at the ballpark. Like we said, dock ceremony was incredible. Really fun to be a part of it.
Shout out Gabby Jasper. Shout out Laura South. Shout out Chloe. Chloe DeVries for she was. If you watched, you saw someone holding the umbrella for Howie. That was Chloe and Okiko, of course.
Chloe was the star of the show to me. Chloe, I would say Doc, and then Chloe. Chloe holding the umbrella during what looked like when you're watching the Weather Channel during Hurricane Watch, and like you just see like the news person try to scream through the rain.
Hey, clutch players, baby. That's it.
Brielle was out there holding up the jersey.
I don't know if we should say that because that was not a scripted part. I guess neither was the umbrella.
No, I know, but like you want to give these people credit. Like Brielle was out there. Like
Brielle made a move when a move needed to be made.
The weather. This has nothing to do with anything on the Mets end. It's just the weather. The weather didn't agree at that moment. And what happens is you have amazing employees like Chloe, who was out there with an umbrella holding it for Howie. A lot of other teams, I think you might see somebody just not even think, oh, should we have somebody go out there and like protect this spot? Brielle, whose job has nothing to do with holding up a framed jersey, was literally back there just holding the framed jersey up and making sure that there was no silly little internet clips that went out.
Yeah, no, Brielle, like I said, stepped up when someone needed to step up. So yeah. It was. Who's employee of the week? Chloe?
I would say, look, Brielle did a real, because you got to think, like, the Brielle thing is probably, like, bigger, long picture because of, like, if that would have fell, that would have looked bad.
Oh, that would have been
bad,
yeah.
Chloe, I would say, just because of, like, you know, that was a big stage.
Great image. Lasting image.
Great image is Howie speaking and Chloe just looking up at the umbrella being like, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say, but it's hard because Anthony Vario, he should be an employee of the week too.
Ooh, can we have co-employees of the week? We haven't established
co-employees.
Co-employees of the week.
Co-employees of the week.
Trademark.
All right, so I think it's, and I want to shout out what I ate today.
Yeah.
Soulbird upstairs on the promenade level in the Hudson Highball Lounge. I had their chicken with noodle like dish. It's like sauteed noodles with peppers with onions, and then I didn't get the fried chicken. I got the grilled chicken. It's right above, dude. You would love it.
It sounds like something I'd love. You know what the problem is for me now.
What?
So I didn't hold true to what I said.
You know what's funny? At 3:30 the other day, I was free at 3:15. I was like, oh, I'm free. I should take that walk with John today at 3:30
to get something.
Well, you said you like to walk around the stadium.
Oh yeah. Oh, for the onions, yeah.
And then I didn't see you, so I was like, all right, we won't go for that.
Yeah.
walk.
So I didn't eat anything And you know what the problem is for me? I need to do it this week because Passover's coming up.
Yeah, well, we're
By
not
the-
home during Passover, right?
For the last 2 days, we are.
We are? Okay.
Yeah.
Better than last year. The last 2 years, I had to deal with opening day Passover.
Catch me with a box of matzah on my desk.
And then the Passover, the kosher for Passover thing, because Passover was on opening day, I think.
Yes, it was last year. It was Passover.
And that wasn't open.
I know. So I think the last 2 days, the first 2 days of the homestand are Passover. So I'm gonna stick to it. I'm gonna find something good that I'll report on
Good.
Wednesday.
And then we could give people Passover suggestions. We should give people Passover suggestions on the next episode of what they could eat at the
You think
ballpark.
there's a market for that?
For people who are here during
Yeah.
Passover and need to eat. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I've had friends who came here during Passover and they were like, oh, I don't know what to eat. And I've told them there's the kosher stand. There's other stuff. We'll do our research and we'll figure out what people can eat. But
All right, yeah, definitely. I like that idea.
Yeah.
I'm a big KFP guy, kosher for Passover.
I know what KFP is.
Well, not everyone else does.
I know. I actually told you a certain drink you can have during Passover.
What, vodka?
Vizzies.
Oh yeah. And there's a maybe we do an episode from the Vizzy stand.
Maybe.
Right above us.
Is it still the Vizzy stand?
Yeah, it's got antioxidants, you know.
Dude, I love Vizzy.
It does me dirty the morning after.
Yeah.
It
I mean,
does.
hey, we're at the age now where anything does you dirty.
Nah,
the
not a
morning.
nice clean tequila.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Well, let's get out of here before we say something stupid. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow us on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, and leave us some comments, okay?
Yeah, big week coming up for the Mets. Pirates are 11-5. The Mets just ended the Royals' 7-game winning streak. We'll see if they can take down another team playing good ball. What do you got?
One more thing. Harrison Bader and Pete Alonso have great series. And what happens the day we post their newlyweds game?
You're right. Also, Harrison Bader, with the bases loaded, puts the ball in play, now hitting .351 in his career with the bases loaded. 4 straight multi-hit games for Harrison, the guy. I don't know if you saw the Chris Bayo note on center field today. It's all coming together for Harrison Bader. Hell yeah.
We'll see you at the Apple.